Hey guys, hope everyone's good today. Just wanted to share with you my basic home smoothie that I have most days, or if I'm not trying to vary it too much. This is a real simple way of making a smoothie. With this smoothie, you know you're going to get all your micronutrients and most of your macros as well. So guys, this is how you make my basic smoothie, okay? First thing you're going to do is you're going to add your base. You always add your water, so you can add just normal water. If you wanted to, you could add in some green tea or some kind of other filtered water. That would be a perfect start to your base. So guys, I always start my smoothies making sure I get those boosters in, those superfoods that I always try and get. So the first one I always like to add, turmeric. Again, if you don't know already, really high anti-inflammatory, perfect for post-exercise recovery. So only doing some small scoops, but this is going to be over about 3 smoothies, so this should be enough for me for today. Next one I always like to add is flax seeds. Doesn't matter which ones you get. I like to go for a mixed variation, but flax seeds are great. Really good essential proteins. Just a few spoonfuls of flax seeds. Some of the other benefits, guys, of flax seeds: super high on omega-3s, great fiber as well, and quite high in protein. So definitely get these in their diet. My next one, I always like to add a few chia seeds in. So again, chia, super fibrous, usually expands about 3 times the size once it's in the liquid. So as it's going through your body, it's going to become really filling. So it's a great one to add in. I just got a couple of spoonfuls. I do this by eye, but again, you could do it by measuring out or grams if you wanted to. So my next one that I always like to add in is amla. Really good one. Super high in antioxidants. From India, it's from the Indian gooseberry. And again, I just add in a couple of scoops of that, not too much, because it's pretty potent and it's really high in antioxidants. My next one I always like to add in is a few goji berries. Not too many of these, but again, super really good. Powerhouse of nutrition, super high in antioxidants, vitamin C, really great for maintaining overall healthy blood pressure and maintaining a good level of cholesterol. So definitely add these in. Just a few of these. So again, I'd like to add in a few spoonfuls. That's enough for me. For those of you that want to use a smoothie as a little bit of a pre-workout, this is a great one. Maca, it's going to give you tons of energy. Really good. It's a bit of a pre-workout before your exercise. The next ones I like to add are pumpkin seeds. Again, these seeds are super jam-packed full of protein, so I always add these in. Post-recovery shakes, going to help rebuild my muscle, give me amino acids that I need to help recover after a training session. So again, I'm doing it by a few. And last but not least, I always try and add in a little bit of hemp. Again, we've got a lot of variation here, and that's good. Foods work really well in synergy together. So when we've got these foods and we've got them in the smoothie, the combination of these chemicals and molecules working together is going to give me all those amplified benefits of all of them together. I add in this again just because it's a really good source of protein, super fibrous, so again great for digestion. And now I'm going to add in just 2 scoops. So the next thing, guys, I like to add is 1 whole lemon. Again, this is super high in vitamin C. I always leave the skin on because that's where all the vitamin C is. The actual lemon juice is pretty good, but most of the vitamin C is in the actual rind of the lemon in the skin. So I always like to leave that on. I just cut off the ends, so the little black bits on the end, but I put all the whole lemon in. If your blender's not so good, not so strong, I definitely cut this up a little bit more. Mine's pretty good, so I can just chuck that whole lemon in and it's good to go. So now I've got all my basics. I've got my water, I've got my superfoods, and I've got my lemon. I'm just going to blend these up just to make it a little bit easier on the blender, so I haven't got a load of frozen foods and all my vegetables and fruit in there afterwards. So a little bit of... And after a quick blend, guys, again, just check the consistency. You don't want it too thick, so just keep it nice and loose. Add a little bit more water in there if you need. So I've got my boosters and my superfoods in there, so what I'm next going to do is my veg. So guys, I always next put in my cruciferous vegetables. Again, I mostly use broccoli, but there are other variations that you can use. Again, the reason we have these in there is because the sulforaphane's really good for the body and great for protecting cells against damage. So I'm going to chuck these in there, just a handful of broccoli. Next one I always like to add is beetroot, super high in antioxidants. Again, raw beetroot is fine if it's going to get blended up, maybe just take off the skin. If not, boiled beetroot, like I've got here in a bag, just 1. Perfect. So guys, the next most important part of this smoothie is the healthiest part, and again, it's the greens. So what I always like to do is add in 2 variations. Today I'm going to add in kale. I usually try and add in kale most days, so I'm going to get in a good solid handful of kale. And then the other handful I'm going to get is spinach, okay? Good solid handful of spinach. You can never get enough greens. Add them in, they're super low in calories, but super high in micronutrients. And that's what we want. Okay guys, so that's finished the veg portion now. Now the last one is the fruit. Because of my blender, it's a 2-litre blender. I'm now going to empty out some of it and pour it into my cups ready for the day. So I'm going to go about half, just over half. That should be perfect. I've got most of my micronutrients in there that I want. Now I'm just going to add in the fruit, and that's going to be the last part of our smoothies. Okay guys, so now we're into the fruit section. This is again the tastiest section of your smoothie. So again, what I'm going to do, just for a little bit of energy, I always like to have 2 smaller bananas, so I'll put them in first. I've already filled it up with water just to make it blend a little bit easier. So again, 2 small bananas, again, good potassium, and I'm just going to chuck that in there, 2 small ones. For me, I always like to make sure that I do get a daily kind of consumption of blueberries. Again, super high in antioxidants. Again, great for cell protection and your recovery. So just going to add in a handful of those or so. Next one, I'm going to use some frozen fruits. So again, these are pretty easy. You can just stick them in the freezer. They're never going to go out of date. Again, you can use them for smoothies. They blend up just the same. Fresh fruit and veg sometimes it can go off a little bit. But again, I always try and get my veg fresh and my fruit I might go frozen. But here guys, I've got a whole variation from strawberries, black currants, blackberries and raspberries. So I'm going to stick them all in. That's going to give the smoothie a nice little taste. So for me, that's where my smoothie starts to end. So I'm going to put the top on, then the last fruit bit. And there you go guys. So that's the fruit bit all blended up. Really nice consistency. Also the frozen fruit just makes your smoothie that little bit colder, so it's nice if you're going to take it to work with you like I do sometimes. Nice to get out a smoothie and it still be chilled. And for me, I've made enough that I've actually got 4 smoothies here. Again, you can make enough so you've just got 3 or 4. I might eat say 3 to 4 smoothies throughout the day, depending on how much I'm going to consume that day or how much exercise I'm doing. This is just a basic, real simple guide. You've got your superfoods and your boosters to begin with. That's your first one, plus the water. Then you've got your veg, so you want to make sure you've got your cruciferous vegetables and your big green leafies. And last but not least, you want to make sure you've got your fruits in there, just to give it that nicer taste, and hopefully that's going to be a good tasting smoothie. Enjoy guys.